UCLA ends their three-game losing streak in dramatic fashion. After missing two earlier field goals, Kai Forbath kicks in the game winner, defeating Oregon State 17-14. Hey everybody, what's brewing? Welcome inside the studio here at the OC Register's office. I'm Jonathan Khamis, being joined as always by our UCLA beat writer Scott Reed. And who said Richard Brehaut couldn't run, huh?
Boy, he's sure surprised he looked like Carl Lewis out there. He was just like, what is that?
Yeah.
But he got it done, in both running and passing. It was a nice performance.
Surprised by the big playability of this guy? Maybe Norm Chow surprised too, since he was such a Kevin Prince guy.
I think a lot of people were surprised because Richard's one of those guys who doesn't always practice real well, and that was a big concern, and that was one of the reasons why they were so pro Prince. But he stepped up there tonight and he delivered a couple big plays, and he had a couple big plays the week before too.
And again, talking about the offense, Johnathan Franklin looked great again. He finally got back on track, rushed for 100 yards, but he did have a fumble.
And that's still the concern. He had a nice game, 100-yard game, right on the money. But he got a pop on the arm, and the ball came out, and a lot of people think, oh no, here we go again. And so there's, Jonathan's always going to be a little bit of an adventure, I think.
Switching gears to the defense now in the fourth quarter. What a fourth quarter they put up, only allowing 29 total yards.
Yeah, they really shut them down. And I think the key to that, Tony Dye talked about this the other day, is they were fresh. The offense kept the defense off the field, basically. Had a 9-minute scoring drive, and so when we got to the fourth quarter, the UCLA defense they had fresh legs, and it really showed. I mean, and Sean Westgate, he had a couple big plays on that last Oregon State drive that were just huge.
And what about Dietrich Riley with the hit of the game, taking out Jacquizz Rodgers?
I don't know about that hit. I think in the NFL,
helmet to helmet, maybe.
I think in the NFL he'd be writing a check this week.
Probably so, but that was a heck of a hit by a heck of a player there. Injury report: who's down and out? Maybe going into that Washington game.
The big concern is Larimore, Patrick Larimore, the middle linebacker, although it's less of a concern with the way Jordan Zumwalt played the other day. Eddie Williams, the starting right guard, had his foot in a boot yesterday. They think he'll be ready, but like I said, the main concern is Larimore. And with the way Zumwalt played, he had team high, game high actually, nine tackles. He had a big sack in the second quarter, late in the second quarter, that knocked Oregon State out of field goal range, and that was a huge play. So it's a little less of an issue. But if Larimore were able to come back, they'd have some flexibility with him and Zumwalt, and thus some flexibility with Akeem and Akeem Ayers. They can put him, almost like a down lineman at the end spot, which gives them a lot more of a threat off the corner. Yeah,
it's a good problem for UCLA to have. And Kai Forbath was, I guess, the star of this game, even though he missed two field goals before that. And take me through his mindset. Couple seconds left, knowing he's already missed two. And he goes out and kicks the game winner.
Well, Neuheisel came up to him. He missed one in the first half, and Neuheisel came up to him in the locker room half, and I said, shake it off. We're going to need you. And he delivered. I mean, you can make a case he's the best kicker in college football history. The other thing that struck me about that game, Kai got a lot of notoriety, and that was amazing play, the Hollywood ending and everything. But the other kicker that came up big in that game was Jeff Locke. He averaged 46 yards on the punting. He had a big 53-yard boot, and then he had a huge kick late in the game that pinned them inside their 2-yard line. And so, I mean, he's having an All-American year too. I mean, I think UCLA clearly has the two best kickers in the country, to me.
My favorite part of that kick was post-game when Richard Brehaut was asked about that, and he said, I mean, he's missed a couple, but he's also the Lou Gehrig whatever kicker of the year. Obviously, he was trying to say Lou Groza award, but close enough, right?
I don't think Richard's a history major.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think anybody's complaining, though, about Richard right now.
No, he's playing great. So let's go to our reader question of the week. This one comes from Michael Larson, and he asks, with all of the talent assembled lately at UCLA, why does the slowest person on the field, Embree, continually return punts?
Well, he's not the slowest person on the field. That's a little bit of exaggeration, but he's the safest person on the field, and that's the issue. And I was a proponent of playing Josh Smith back there for a long time, but if you watch it practice and when they get to the special teams drill, Taylor Embree is by far and away the most reliable guy catching the ball, and it's a lot different catching a punt than it is catching a kickoff. And so he doesn't have the danger factor that Josh Smith or maybe Ricky Marbury has or Thigpen, but he's safe. And a team that has as many issues as the UCLA does, you want to have the ball. And so Taylor, Taylor will be the first to admit he's not an Olympic final, 100-meter final anytime soon, but there's a trust issue, and they trust Taylor.
All All right, there it is. Scott Reed dropping the knowledge like usual. That's going to do it for this edition of What's Bruin. But be sure to check out next week's show where we'll preview the Bruin. Could be a big swing game for them. They could go to 5-5 at Washington. Then they go to Arizona State. We might talk about that little game coming up at the end of the year against USC, huh? We'll see. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of What's Bruin. Thanks for watching.